When I was at Disneyland Paris last time round, I was looking for a gift for a friend, specifically around Baymax. And alas, I couldn't find anything. And it led me to the question, which films need more love across the Disney parks? So, what I'm going to do today, just have a brief sort of discussion. I've not planned any notes or anything, so I'm purely going to be winging this. But I've noticed that with a few other things as well. I've only ever done Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney World, so apologies if these parks are overrepresented in. I know Baymax has quite a big presence and stuff in California and things like that, etc. But it's just personal notes. I mean, obviously there are characters that will appear across all parks: Stitch, the princesses, Mickey, Minnie. The Fab Five. But there are some films that slip under the radar. The obvious ones being perhaps the more obscure ones, or the ones that did less well. Atlantis, Treasure Planet, Home on the Range, Chicken Little. In that same vein, I would add in films like Robin Hood. You don't get a lot of merchandise for Robin Hood and things like that, or character meet and greets, ride themings, that sort of thing. But there are some big ones. I think Jungle Book is quite underrepresented at the park. Obviously, Animal Kingdom would be a good place to have a fair bit of Jungle Book merchandise. Maybe I'm saying that because it's one of my favourite films. And I think there just needs to be more sort of across all the parks, really. I'm trying to think now, just going, because I said I haven't planned anything for this video. And I think there's some areas of parks that, again, would lend themselves well. Home on the Range would easily fit in with a sort of, we're not talking retheming of rides and stuff here. I'm talking just, I don't know, a small section of the gift shop. Home on the Range near Big Thunder Mountain. That sort of country and western kind of vibe. Chicken Little easily could have a little bit of, say, Tomorrowland, or even Animal Kingdom or something. But there is quite a few sort of films. Black Cauldron, again, and obviously we've got the Villain's Land coming in, which might perhaps lend itself a little bit better because it's a bit of a darker vibe. Treasure Planet's another one that, again, could fit in Tomorrowland. And again, I don't know how I do these, whether it'd be character meet and greets and stuff for some of the characters. I think some of the characters would lend themselves. Robin Hood would lend itself quite well, I think, to character meet and greets. And I'm picking on those ones just because the ones I'm thinking of. I'm trying to think. I'm just going through films now. Pinocchio, I suppose. There's the ride at Paris. That's another one I think could easily be a little bit more represented. The Goofy movie, Powerline and stuff like that. I think, again, it's there was some talk that Rock and Roller Coaster was going to be rethemed to that before the Muppets. I'm glad the Muppets got it. And then obviously you've got the more sort of Herbie. That's Disney films, aren't they? The live action ones. Hercules, I think, again, could be represented, and again, Villain's Land is a possibility for that one. Oliver and Company, Fox and Hound. There's dozens of films. Let me know down below in the comments which films you think need to be, or you need a greater presence, and actually what you would do with them. Because again, Robin Hood I think would fit in quite nicely with the British Pavilion. Whether there's something, obviously it's quite a British story set in Nottingham. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. I sat on this video and I'm sort of regretting it now. I wish I'd sort of planned this out a little better. But yeah, let me know down below which films you'd like to see greater representation from within the parks. Hope you'll have an amazing day. Check out my previous videos on screen here and here. Subscribe down below, and I'll talk to you all next time.